honestly, if I had to go, I think I wouldn't want to come back because I would feel so disappointed, so excluded that I wouldn't want to experience these again.
I remember the day that our campus shut down. I just had to book my tickets in literally like less than 36 hours. I was on a flight back to Singapore by Monday morning. That traveling situation was honestly so scary because it's something I've never experienced before. It was just really overwhelming because, it just kind of hit all at once.
I was in the UK for spring break and then the borders closed down, so I couldn't get back into the US because I'm not a US citizen. So I had to go back home to Pakistan and I was there for about 3.5 months.
What if something happens to my loved ones in Turkey and I cannot be there for them? You even start to think about the worst case scenarios. I even thought that, okay, I may get infected and I might die here, but I want to be buried in my hometown, but it's not gonna be happening.
In fall of 2019, international students made up approximately 10% of the student population, in which 107 countries were represented. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, international students have had to face additional stress and challenges, including travel restrictions, employment opportunities, financial insecurity, and time zone differences.
The most challenging thing is economic insecurity. Having a job is very important thing, not only to make a living, but also to feel useful and to maintain our psychological health.
I'm definitely one of the more privileged ones in the sense that I have a stable connection, I have a stable home environment, but at the same time, being 13 hours ahead of Austin, usually my classes in the spring semester started past 12 a.m. and would go on up until 6 a.m.
On July 6th, the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, or ICE, announced that foreign students on F1 and M1 visas attending schools operating entirely online would not be allowed to remain in the U.S. for the fall semester. Students would have to leave the country or transfer to another educational institution that had in-person instruction.
I remember I had a class that day and I turned off my camera and I didn't speak and I couldn't focus. And the saddest part is only one of my friends asked me how I was doing that day and that she was sorry about the news.
Earlier, I didn't know that such a policy could even hit so close to home. And so having something impact me so personally obviously has sort of put me in like a bubble of like anxiety.
Not only that, my Uber driver, he was talking to me and he asked me what I was doing here. And I was like, I'm an international student, but I'm not taking summer classes right now. And then he said, well, if you're not going to classes in person, you don't really need to be here, do you?
You start to think like, what's the point, right? After that, I mean, I'm not gonna be able to stay here. What's the point of focusing on your job, on your work, right?
The fact that UT was hybrid made it a lot easier. But at the same time, there was like universities who were, letting out statements that yes, we'll protect international students, but UT hadn't at that point.
On July 7th, one day after ICE's announcement, Interim Executive Vice President and Provost Daniel Yaffe sent out an email saying UT would operate as a hybrid model and that they would do everything to support students on F1 visas to keep them connected to campus.
The first email of Texas Global was a little bit disappointing for us. Our school is our only connection, our only institution through which we are connected to the US, and we wanted to feel their support.
They had all these town hall meetings online where international students would join and ask questions, but even they didn't know what the minimum requirement was for in-person classes.
UT could have definitely enforced some legal action or provided support in the sense of like planning maybe like an in-person class just for international students. Just having that support in the back of your head, like, okay, it's being taken care of by the school, so I might not have to worry as much about it.
In response to ICE's announcement, Planet Longhorn, a student-run organization at UT with a mission of enhancing the experience of international students, created a petition. The petition demanded the university to create accommodations for foreign students by giving them priority to existing in-person classes or by creating an in-person or hybrid class specifically for international students. The petition has received more than 18,000 signatures, and on July 12th, the university released a statement detailing concrete steps to support international students before the Trump administration rescinded ICE's policy on July 14th.
Even our immigration status, non-resident alien, we are constantly reminded that we are different, we are not a part of this country or maybe this community. The ICE directive was the harshest reminder of that feeling.
For us coming into the US, it's such a culture shock. It's so different. The people are different, the place is different. If we had more individual help and guidance would be so helpful. Because I feel like if I had that when I was a freshman, it would have just been such an easier process to just meet other international students.
I think UT can help us by creating more on-campus job opportunities or applying in-state tuition regardless of employment status.
Despite the increased alienation and isolation that international students have had to face due to the pandemic and recent ICE announcement, they have been able to find pockets of communities that provide support and comfort during this time.
Planet Longhorn has been an organization that has really helped me, especially this semester, because I feel like if I didn't have that resource, it would have been significantly harder to get through this semester.
The people you meet there are people who want to learn about you and where you're from. So being international actually felt kind of special rather than out of place.
That is something that's just been so rewarding because, that community is honestly priceless.